Post-Symphony of the Night, under the direction of Igarashi, the Castlevania series transformed from just a story about confronting Dracula in his castle. Symphony of the Night injected thematic elements into the series that explored the nature of man. What is a man? Dracula famously poses to Richter, tossing his chalice into pixeled shards. The game designers created a castle as complex as that very question. Dracula is, more broadly speaking, a personification of seduction with an evil intent. In movies, Dracula's gaze can paralyze a woman. He has a kiss that will drain their blood, which will turn them. The early 2000s, comparatively, began to view vampires more complexly. There began a human element to the struggle of sex and seduction, notably in the TV show Buffy the Vampire Slayer, or the book series Twilight. Igarashi's Dracula, in contrast, remains a constant evil. The character of Dracula is explored through the player as you uncover the castle's secrets. By circumventing the mostly male characters that identify with their own mythically cursed blood, the Belmonts, Castlevania brings a new perspective also to the victims, humanizing female characters in ways that become impactful and meaningful. The succubus, for example, concealing the fate of Alucard's mother in Symphony of the Night, provides a very profound effect. Circle of the Moon is an interesting case in having independent directors who take a great deal from the themes presented in Symphony of the Night. Of course, there's the overall significance of the castle itself. Post-Symphony of the Night, Castlevania games became about exploration, where new abilities were unlocked that led to even more areas of the castle to open and explore. The more the castle is revealed, the more of the character player has been revealed. The curious question arises to the player in connection with the map of the castle. How much do I understand of this map? Do I remember all the locations where I could potentially use this new ability? The answer that the gameplay provides is promptly no. You will not remember every area. You will invariably need to backtrack to explore again to remember. Not all the layout of the level design in Dracula's castle is about memorization, as in which ability goes where. There's also the invitation of the castle not to go back, but to go forward, uncovering new areas, deeper into the mystery through warps and parallel worlds, which may or may not lead to discoveries. The choice becomes, will you return to the memory, what is safe, or venture on not knowing where the castle leads next? Circle of the Moon captures this aspect of Castlevania. The dichotomy of identifying self within the exploration of Dracula's castle is more expertly composed under the direction of Igarashi in the preceding two Game Boy Advance titles. Harmony of Dissonance portrays a castle that is skewed in the conflicting mind of Maxim, who has collected dead Dracula's remains and unwittingly invoke the manifestation of the castle. In-game elements like friendship bracelets are the only source that can bring Maxim out of the possession of Dracula by the climactic end, where the two dear friends of Maxim can safely exorcise the dark castle from Maxim's mind, along with the hold of Dracula. Aria of Sorrow envisions Dracula's rebirth through a solar eclipse, wherein characters whose bloodlines are closely aligned with the Lord of Darkness are transported into Dracula's ethereal lair. The player-controlled character is unsure of their role in the story, which later is revealed by hints through character dialogues and discoveries within the castle. By collecting the souls of Dracula's minions and mastering the castle, the player character is given the ability to become the vessel that Dracula may possess. Being reborn from the solar eclipse, once again Dracula can enter the realm of mortals to reign in terror. The end of the game culminates in resisting the inner possession of Dracula to face the essence of the dark terror at the heart of the castle. There's no question that the Castlevania games contain stories where an absolute evil must be defeated, and it may seem simplistic in this respect. While there's no denying that, how the games progress toward the confrontation of that evil makes the essence of that conflict a question, the discovery of self, a process where dredging through deep unknowns and the question of why I am here, or, as essentially posed in Symphony of the Night, what is a man, These questions become the forefront to the narrative as the games unfold. For me, this question becomes, how much have I discovered of myself to navigate the castle that is me? I believe Dracula's castle is a helpful metaphor that allows me to more fully express the dimensions of myself. There are times that the inverse, dark Maxim possesses an evil, deceives, lashes out, and hurts others. I see a deeper chaos that can take hold and rule when I feel triggered by experiences I can't control. But is that castle entirely me? Is it not a place whose resolutions can be confronted, can be sealed, where I can find the person I identify with, remaining, standing at the edge of the world as the castle evaporates in the distance, only to leave the landscape, the outside beauty of the world shining around me? Insomuch as dark, difficult nights approach, the day breaks again, the water shines, and clouds breach the tops of mountains. Freedom is felt, which can bound forth outside of that confined space that seemed all so encompassing, but that does just disappear in the end.